Ready to find your flow? AFSA's got you covered.
That's right. The hands-on training lab in Richardson, Texas is where you trade PowerPoints for pipe wrenches. Real tools, real systems, and real experience you can actually use.
And if you're ready to test your skills, check out the hands-on NFPA 25 workshops, where you'll inspect, test, and maintain live sprinkler systems and fire pumps. No simulations, no fluff, just pressure, flow, and know-how.
It's the perfect way to get under pressure without cracking under it.
So get fired up and register today at firesprinkler.org. Spots fill faster than a charged branch line.
AFSA, where you don't just learn the code, you live it. Welcome to the K-Factor podcast, where we turn up the heat on all things fire protection. Brought to you by the American Fire Sprinkler Association, this podcast sparks conversations about the latest technology, trends, and tools shaping the industry. Join the AFSA tech team as we fan the flames of innovation in fire safety.
Another announcement for convention. And that is, what are we calling it?
Hot takes under fire.
Hot what?
Hot takes under fire.
Hot takes under fire. If it's under fire, if it's above fire, we can put it out. What does that mean? What do we got going on?
The K-Factor podcast crew will be hosting a Hot One style challenge at the AFSA 44 convention, exhibition, and apprentice competition this year.
Awesome.
It'll happen October 16th, Thursday night. And it'll feature us four here in the chat. So that's Josh, Kevin, Eric, and myself. And then Vicky will be moderating for us. Sweet. While she gives us harder and harder questions. We'll be eating hotter and hotter wings.
Nice. So it'll be technical and non-technical. And if you are there, you can chime in with your own questions. We can get a question like this for Eric. What cartoon character are you or your teammates, and why?
Ooh. I'm torn between Donald Duck and Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Okay. Doofenshmirtz. Who's that? Oh, do you know who that is?
He was the evil villain from Phineas and Ferb.
Okay. All right. Why?
Why? I feel like Donald Duck, just because of the ridiculous shenanigans that we get into, paired with Dr. Doofenshmirtz's plans that usually get foiled partway through.
He's thought about this.
All right, I have. And usually I feel like you're the one foiling my plans, mostly because half the time they're reckless, and you're the voice of reason for.
So I'm like Perry the Platypus?
Yeah,
sweet.
I'll go with Perry the Platypus.
All right. Nate, I've got one for you, technical. Which code or standard do you have an issue with, and why? This is going to be, if you've listened to the Matt Klaus episode, this is going to be a recurring trend. He needs a change in one of the standards.
I don't know why you do this to me. I got a lot of beef with NFPA 1.
Okay. What's wrong with NFPA 1?
Why can't a brother like me smoke a brisket on his patio?
It's in an apartment.
Oh, you're in an apartment building?
Yeah.
Is it a hibachi?
No.
Charcoal? Gas-powered?
Electric.
It's electric? I'm pretty sure you can.
Well, no, it's because the pellet ones are open flame under their stove.
Oh, pellet electric, okay.
Yeah, so that's
I think we did try to address that the last cycle at NFPA 1, and I think it made it in there saying that, I think it is in there actually, that where you have a listed electric grill, you can use it on the balcony now for residential, or if you have a sprinklered balcony, then you're allowed to do that.
Is it sprinklered? Is your balcony sprinklered?
Balcony is sprinklered.
Oh, we might have a way in.
Off the side.
Yeah, because I thought I remember that went through last time. Probably Eric, if you're looking for I don't know.
Is it gonna be TerraView?
So for some reason, I think search hibachi and it'll come up.
Hibachi.
Yeah, just like seriously. Yeah.
Because if that's the case, Saturday is the start of college football. You know, anybody wants some brisket over at the crib?
How are you spelling hibachi over there?
Help me out here.
Hibachi?
Yeah, but he can spell Dusseldorf, but he can't spell
Dusseldorf. So while he's looking that up, let's throw it over to Kevin. If your team was a boy band, who'd be the lead singer and what's the name of the boy band?
Oh.
Yeah, we're in there, bro. First
Wow.
YouTube.
First, yeah, this is first YouTube one.
Yeah.
So there's no hiding or anything. It has to be a boy band.
It could be a band.
Oh, okay.
You go for it.
I'm from Baltimore, so maybe
Bands are from Baltimore.
yes, Simple Plan.
Okay.
So it's just
Are we simple
it's
though?
a simple plan. It's a simple plan. Just train and educate people. Make the code to standard simple so you can understand them, read them once, apply them, not have any issues with them.
Okay. Who's the lead singer?
I don't know. I'm more of a total band. Like I don't know
Less of a
individual
simple
people
band?
in a band. So, like, I couldn't tell you who any. When people start talking about like drummers and singers and bands, you'll lose me at that point.
JD. He's got a voice that projects.
He does, yeah.
JD's the lead singer of the Simple Plan.
That is, yeah. I think that works.
That works. Simple Plan's from Baltimore?
It's from the Maryland area. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do at convention.
Maybe I might be wrong. Who knows?
He's trying to spell hibachi
He's
still.
still trying to spell hibachi, so he can't help me out with.
Anyways,
What's the question?
Simple Plan. Where are they from? Oh my goodness. Spell check on Google.
My goodness. There we go.
Canadian rock band.
What am I thinking?
Origin, Montreal, Canada.
No, never
All
mind.
right. Anyways, so
just
that's kind of the shenanigans
Strike that from the record.
we're going to get into at convention. But we do bring Kevin here to talk about something that's fun, something that's good information. We're working on what edition of NFPA 13 right now?
So we're currently working on the 2028 edition of NFPA 13, coming to a local jurisdiction near you in 2057 or
Whenever you adopt
it
it.
gets adopted.
All right.
All right. Does anybody else hear that?
I was about to message you. Check these Rode mics.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pissing me off. They're not on.
bum, bum, bum,
Hello?
bum, bum.
Oh, wait. Hello, can you hear the humming still? Can you still hear the humming?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Start talking again.
Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check.
That sounds
1,
better,
2,
no?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm not hearing it as much.
10.
No.
Oh, there you go. Propane, charcoal fired, barbecue
This one?
cookers. Yeah, so it's 1719. Go into
Before
the
we get started, I need to know this.
Well, we'll do it in there.
Okay.
Type back in.
You ready? Everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
So we found it. We found the section 17193
Well,
NFPA.
maybe. Go
Okay.
to Eric. Go to the chapter. Scroll down to chapter 17 in the left column. No, so it's wildline urban. Okay, so you want keep going down. You want the residential. Scroll.
Just
scroll.
keep scrolling.
So I want residential or apartments. It'd be like an occupancy.
Control F.
Apartment.
APT.
Apartment.
All right. Maybe we didn't find it.
It's in 101.
So we are, you said the 2028 edition?
Yeah, we're in the 2028 edition. Working on the 2028 edition of NFPA 13.
So what's that process look like so far? And what have we done? You done? I haven't been involved as much.
So we actually just met 2 weeks ago, had meetings in Salt Lake City. That was our first draft meeting. So essentially there we went over all of the public inputs that were submitted to the NFPA, the document. So 13, we got a lot of stuff actually built into 13. There's like 5 technical committees that deal with all of it. You got installation committee, which Bob and I serve on representing AFSA. You got discharge committee, which is me and Denhart. You have residential, which is me and Denhart currently, but then Josh, you're taking over the alternate role for that one for Denhart. We have PRI or Public Water Supplies. That's actually chaired by Bob Caputo and Josh, you're the alternate on that one. And then I think the
Chapter
and then
6.
hanging and bracing. So hanging and bracing, a little bit of a kind of clear as mud for hanging and bracing at the moment. So we're currently trying to wrap up NFPA 200. That's in like a special cycle right now. We're kind of extending the goalpost a little bit to try and get it as perfect as we can for that first edition. But that's the standard that's going to have all the hanging and bracing requirements for any water-based fire protection system. Actually, it's got gaseous in there too and foam. So that's going to live there. But yeah, those all meet at the same time. I think we had over like 550 public inputs
Wow.
we had to respond to.
What percentage was you?
Actually, I think I only had like 50 or so this cycle for the 13 committees.
50.
Residential, we only had a couple in there that we were dealing with, but no, it's a pretty productive meeting. I mean, we go into it now. I think this was our first full cycle, having our technical advisory council kind of provide their input and kind of direct us on how they support or oppose certain ideas. So we were pretty successful there. I think I mentioned in a staff meeting we had probably roughly around 90-95% of the actions of the committee aligned with what our TAC was looking for.
How'd that process look? I mean, because for some of these people, it's their first time being involved, or some of them have been doing it a little bit, but this more formalized TAC.
Yeah, so the tax essentially, think of it like it's like a pseudo NFPA committee. So they essentially are, I don't want to say it's not like a shadow organization, but it's the organization behind me and Bob, me and Denhard, me and you being the AFSA representatives on the committees, because we are an organizational rep. So we don't represent ourselves. We don't represent just this office of AFSA. We represent all of our contractor members of AFSA. So we hold an installer maintainer seat. NFPA kind of values those seats a little more because you get a wider input. You're representing a little more people than just yourself or your company. But it's a way just to, I guess, more of a gut check and a fact check and just more like a litmus test, I guess, to make sure that, hey, our 20-member technical advisory council, we at least got input from them who represent basically the whole range of size of contractors, as well as our 10 different regions now in the world, so or in the U.S.
So essentially, it helps us make sure that we're aligned.
It keeps us aligned with our contractor members who are boots on the ground in there. I mean, those of us on the committees, we have contractor experience. We felt, their pain over time, but, we do work specifically for the association now, so we're not doing construction, installation, project management on a day-to-day basis. Like
change orders.
We're still trying to, keep it fresh in our minds, keep up to date on everything, but they're the ones that are going to bring, the real world experiences and, what actual issues they're running into.
So good gut check for what we think is a...
Yeah. I mean, we always have good fire protection at heart, but definitely, we are representing contractors who want to do what's best for them as well.
Awesome. So I guess a big thing before we start further this discussion about the topic of the 2028 edition is this isn't closed yet. Like, our changes that we talk about or potentially speak about now aren't necessarily a thing yet.
Yeah, it's still wide open. It's still, very preliminary at this point if you think about the entire process. So we just did the first draft meeting, which essentially you go through that, and what happens in the first draft meeting is you essentially create the ballot for the first draft. So going in there, simple majority, either you create a first revision or you would just reject someone's public input and give them a reason why you don't want to do it. So essentially we've done that portion. So the committee has tentatively agreed to create these first revisions. They still have to go out to ballot. And then for ballot, it actually requires 2/3 approval to actually make a change to the standard. So just because something is proposed as a first revision right now doesn't necessarily mean it'll make it into the document for the first draft, because it could fail ballot. And that goes out to everyone as a letter ballot. It's an online thing. Whereas some people couldn't make the meeting at Salt Lake City, so they weren't there. Maybe they have an opinion that they would write in their negative comment or an affirmative with a comment that would change some opinions. But there's still an opportunity to change that. That ballot shouldn't come out until a couple months from now. And then even after that, there's the correlating committee. So because there's multiple technical committees on one document, you got to make sure all these different sections are talking to each other the same way. So you have this correlating committee, which John and I serve on, that essentially looks at not technical issues, but correlating issues for, making sure references align, making sure nothing conflicts between two different committees.
You must really like that.
I love a good rule. So, so the correlating committee, that's even, could introduce some new stuff there because it's still the first draft stage for that meeting. So anything's on the table. They could say, hey, we want to direct the discharge committee to review these tables to make sure they're aligned with, the install guidelines in Chapter 11 or whatever. So
last edition, 2025 edition, fairly major change that would affect our contractors. So I'm just going to pick one, right? For the listed air compressors.
Yep. Yeah. So listed air compressors, that was added for 2025 edition. Where you have a dedicated air supply for fire protection, got to be listed. UL 1450 is a listing standard that they can do that too. Yeah. And interesting enough, so on UL 1450, so I'm on the technical committee for that, for UL.
Yeah.
And really that standard was mainly focused, it's like if you look at the scope, it's like paint sprayers, commercial air compressors, and vacuums and stuff like that. So the scope of a sprinkler system air compressor is really limited. And we had some issues where, you'd have some compressors listed to UL 1450, but not necessarily there's like 4 or 5 specific things for sprinklers you have to do for destructive testing, durability, making sure that you have permanent power, hardwired power. You can't have a plug or run off a switch or anything. So we actually we're working with some members on that to modify the standard to make it a little clearer. So now there's a separate supplement within UL 1450. So supplement SC. So you have to be listed to UL 1450 supplement SC. That means you've met all of the extra sprinkler requirements. And then they have some labeling and restrictions on what you can say in your manufacturer's instructions. Yeah. So you can't even reference anything to sprinkler systems, water-based fire protection, unless you meet that supplement SC.
So what about this 2028 edition? Is there anything that could be a major change coming down the pipeline?
There's a lot of stuff in there. So the one thing about the first draft meeting is, it's a 3-year process. So we're not going to have a second draft meeting until next summer. So there's still a lot of opportunity for new data to come out. And based on the timing of that, some people don't want to wait a whole nother cycle. They don't want to wait till the 2031 edition to get some information in. So a lot of the public inputs we saw were more or less placeholders. So they're in there because you can't introduce any new information at second draft or new topics. I mean, you present new information to change something you've addressed, but essentially we have automatic storage and retrieval systems. So to date,
a placeholder.
Yeah. So there's a whole research project foundation going on with that, getting some data, how to protect them, what should the overhead protection be, in-rack schemes, all that good stuff. Nothing concrete to date, nothing that the discharge committee could actually look at to put a change in the standard. But there are a lot of definitions put in there, a lot of design schemes, and discharge procedures put in Chapter 20 for general requirements for storage. But they were all resolved or rejected as public inputs, just saying, hey, we don't actually have evidence to do this at this moment, but we realize there will be a report published within the next year or two that gives them the opportunity to resubmit at second draft and then put in some requirements. But
so dare I ask, placeholder for batteries?
No placeholder for lithium-ion batteries at this point. That's still in the annexes outside the scope of this document. Go do a engineering evaluation and figure that out. There's other resources. You got NFPA 855 for energy storage systems. They're going to have a new kind of conglomerate code for batteries, NFPA 800. That's more of a just a general extract document, pulling all the battery requirements into one space. I think I saw someone posted that NFPA is actually running that a little bit differently than a normal revision cycle.
Okay.
I don't know how it's different, but I just know it's not going through the regular process, like for a draft standard and putting it through its initial revision cycle.
They've got a big push right now for the home safety of lithium ions. And I mean, lithium ions too, I guess it's just so quickly changing.
Yeah, there's new stuff every day, and it's something to definitely be conscious about. But yeah, batteries in general. I mean, new things pop up every time I take a flight, there's a new battery restriction. So like now, if you're charging your phone with one of your portable chargers, you got to keep that in plain view of the flight attendants now.
Interesting.
So I guess it's just being more aware of the hazards associated with it.
Well, I think that change was specific to Southwest, but I guess they were having so many issues of people keeping them in bags, and then when they start to go off, it's like, okay, it's harder to get them into a battery containment.
Yeah. Well, if it's out in the open, they can cool a little faster. If they're stuffed in your bag, they're going to be suffocated by your clothes or whatever else you got and heat up faster.
So what other fairly major changes or something that could affect our listeners should they just be keeping an eye on and listening to that stem from those meetings?
So, I mean, some big things that we're discussing is looking at, and this went through 25 the last cycle too, is standard response sprinklers in dwelling units.
Yeah.
So currently, I'm pretty sure it didn't make it into 25.
It did.
It did make.
I'm pretty sure it made it into 25.
That's right. It did. Yeah, because no one nitmammed it.
Yep. Which was interesting.
Yeah. So actually, the published edition of NFPA 25 for 2026 edition, which might not be available at this moment, but I think Standards Council just reviewed it last week, and it should be issued soon.
Hopefully with that TIA.
By the time this is put out, I think it should be in there. But yeah, so every 25 years, you have to do your standard response sprinkler testing, and then you have to meet the RTI requirements for a standard response sprinkler, which is 80 or more. But if you're a standard response sprinkler in a dwelling unit, now you can either replace them with quick response sprinklers or somehow make those standard response sprinklers comply with the quick response RTI requirements, which is 50 or less. So it's really just a roundabout way of saying, hey, it's a higher hazard, not a higher hazard, but it's more life safety focused. It's a higher level of protection that we want for people in dwelling units where you might be sleeping, living, all that good stuff. So a QR or residential, most likely, and seeing that also reflected in 13. Yeah, but so ultimately, you're going to every 50 year. Well, at the 50-year installation mark, you're gonna, if it's installed as a standard response sprinkler, you're gonna have to switch it out to a quick response within dwelling units, which it aligns with the current requirements. Like for new installations, you have to install quick response in light hazard and residential occupancies. So nothing new there, just kind of trying to push out those old standard response sprinklers to provide them a little bit higher level of protection in those spaces.
Did we add any guidance on that swap out? Because we're not replacing like for like. So is there any guidance on there on, hey, you got to get a designer involved to sign off on this? Or are we saying it's not going to really make a change and it's just, hey, swap them out if it's...
Well, I mean, you still have to comply with all the other characteristics in NFPA 25, K factor, right, area coverage, all that other stuff. So all you're changing is the response time.
Sweet. Now I'm going to put you on the spot. I think this is kind of a fun part of our podcast is we try to bring things that other people aren't necessarily doing. Was there any conversation at the committee level that you were just like, what in the world are we discussing for 13?
Oh, man.
And why? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. I feel like I have to consult my notes for that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I'd love to see those notes.
I know. I'm trying to think what we did. Well, so, I mean, actually, this kind of is more current events, but it comes with the recent fire in Massachusetts, right? So you had an issue with sprinklers not operating. And with all the reports, we don't know what the final reason was, but it looks like it was from one of the sprinklers that had the internal O-ring that was under a voluntary replacement program back in the day. But we've had that discussion in 25 and 13. It came up in the existing system chapter. There was a proposed first revision that wanted basically if you discover a sprinkler that has been recalled at some point, you're required to replace it. Ultimately, it didn't make it in as first revision. That got rejected. Well, it wasn't a public input. It was just brought in as other business at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Mostly because there wasn't enough data provided or the language submitted wasn't clear enough to determine whose responsibility is it. It kind of made it seem like if us as a contractor came in and did any work in the building, now you own every single recalled sprinkler, whether you knew it or not.
Yeah.
So there's some legal stuff that goes into that and wording it very specifically. But it's trying to align with NFPA 25, where in Chapter 4 under the owner's requirements, he said, upon discovery of a sprinkler that's been recalled or on a voluntary replacement list, you shall notify the owner in writing, and then they're required to replace them.
So what else do we look at? This is a question that I'm aware of the answer to, but I feel like some of our older listeners, is there any major layout change? Because, a lot of people from that 16 to 19 or 13 to 16.
Reorgs? Organization. Yeah. No, so there is. Yep. So strap in, everybody. No, it's actually not that bad. So there is a little bit of reorganization going in, and it mostly deals with what's a special sprinkler.
They're all special.
They're all that's what. They're all special sprinklers. So, but we do have Chapter 15, which are requirements for special sprinklers, which have special listing and discharge characteristics. There's like 5 things they have to meet in Chapter 15 to be listed as a special sprinkler. So that'd be like your attic sprinklers, your combustible concealed space sprinklers, window sprinklers, whole bunch of different ones like that. So the idea was kind of cleaning up the standard and making sure we moved all of the special sprinklers into Chapter 15, which I thought it was a great idea. I put that input in last cycle, and everyone told me to pound sand, but now it's a good idea. So whatever.
Fair enough. It's a game.
So we're moving them in there, and things that are moving that aren't special sprinklers, your conventional or old style sprinklers, not special anymore. Well, because they don't have special listing requirements.
The eBay prices say different.
Well, they're not standard spray. They don't have a special discharge pattern, but they cover the 15 by 15 area or whatever they're intended to cover. Dry pendants.
Okay.
Used to be in Chapter 15 for special. Now they're just back in 9.4 for use of sprinklers. Okay. So really just a freeze protection mechanism. Nothing special about them other than it's a dry barrel that.
I know you're happy with the organizational.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I do like the path it's going. Yeah. It just, he's got to make, when you reorganize things, there are oftentimes unintended consequences.
Yeah.
And you got to really look into those and not just kind of blankly accept someone saying, oh, it's a reorg. There were no technical changes. It's like, well, you might not have meant to make a technical change, but by making this subsection parent to this one now, you have a whole bunch of things that weren't required that are now required based on the structure. So location has meaning in the standard. That's why I'm never opposed to reorganizing it if it actually helps out people understand it. We had a small reorganization that we submitted that went through and actually came through our TAC. Taylor Schumacher sent me an email, gave me a call about he didn't like how our instruction rules are organized in Chapter 9. So you have positioning of the sprinkler, spacing of the sprinkler, location of the sprinkler. So really we want to space our sprinklers first, position them relative to the deck, and then locate them with respect to obstructions so you have spray patterns. He was really pushing to be positioning, spacing, location. So it could be the pumpkin spice latte organization.
It's about that time of season too. My wife messaged me.
But based on how you actually logically do it, it makes sense to do spacing, positioning, then location. So we changed that. I think we cleaned up some things and consolidated some sections in 9.5 that I think clears it up a lot and kind of organizes those obstruction rules, which is kind of the hardest thing for people to grasp or maybe even just find the right spot to apply it. So I think that should be a good one.
Is there a spot for us to put a gauge on our deluge nozzles so we can actually measure that pressure?
I don't believe that got added.
This is 2 cycles now.
I'm pretty sure.
This is crazy. Check the pressures on your deluge systems at the most remote nozzle, but don't put a port for it.
Well, I mean, every nozzle is a port. You can just Add your own test connection.
Oh, I wish we get the designers in the field to make this happen. I really
I mean,
do.
it is a minimum standard. You can add however many ports
Oh,
you
we
want
don't
to.
test all the pressures of all the ports. I like how it's just an issue for you, though. It takes one cycle for you, but my stuff, let it go 6-7 cycles.
Well, if you hopped on and argued it.
Well, if you didn't keep me so busy with the training and education we're doing, then maybe I'd hop on.
I don't know. I think the TAC might have just opposed your thing anyway.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's accurate. That sounds about right. We'll get in there. We'll get it sorted. What else while we're kind of wrapping this one up, but anything major to point out about 2028 edition or something you're looking forward to?
Oh, well, so I am chairing a task group for the 2028 edition. It's having to deal with the contractors, materials, and test certificate.
Okay.
So a couple cycles ago, we moved that whole document to the annex. And the intent there was, okay, we didn't want to use that specific document. Everyone was just kind of photocopying the page out of NFPA 13. Yeah, we understand that you don't want to be limited to that because there's a lot of things on there that might not be appropriate for whatever job you're doing. But again, unintended consequences, there were requirements in that form that weren't necessarily laid out in Chapter 29 for acceptance testing. So we missed some things there. And also looking at that, you can see when forms are moved to the annex, they don't get looked at as closely, and there are some things that are falling behind, some change requirements that don't align with the body anymore. So we do have a tentative first revision, again, still has to be balloted, to move that form back into the body. So it'll be there front and center for everyone to see. But with the caveat, just like NFPA 72 says, hey, this is just a sample form. You can make any other forms and figures that you want as long as it includes all the necessary information to get the point across.
Okay.
For our AHJ members, we don't want 1,000 different forms, so they're trying to figure out where all the information is. But if it's in some uniform format that they can easily decipher and read and understand, that should work.
And if a section doesn't apply, don't include it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the way people were looking at it, it's like, well, if I do all these different systems, I have to fill out one of these forms for every single system. They're printing out thousands of pages of test certificates where really you just need to copy and paste separate sections and build that in. So we're working on that, seeing what those responsibilities are.
It'll be fun.
I think making sure that the owner signs that test certificate. Right now, it's a line on the form, but it doesn't say in the standard it's the owner's responsibility to sign it or their designated representative. That might be one of mine that got rejected because they didn't want the owner specifically to sign it to be a bottleneck. But like the GC or whoever their authorized agent is should acknowledge it. That way, at least you're covered as a contractor for what you did.
Yeah. Awesome. So a couple closing. Well, I got a closing question for you. If you were a sprinkler system component, non-sprinkler, what would you be and why? His face right now is crazy.
Well, it's on YouTube, so honestly, I hate these questions.
I know you do. That's why you get them.
If I was a sprinkler system component,
yep.
Oh man.
And you got an answer for that?
For me?
Okay, since he's not answering, what component would he be and why?
I'm going to go with a pipe. Conduit
He's
of
a
knowledge.
pipe. Oh, he's a conduit of knowledge. He's being nice.
Conduit.
You're a pipe, dude.
A pipe?
Is he thin-walled or thick-walled?
Like just a piece of pipe? Okay.
You're connecting all the dots. You're getting everything where it needs to go.
Okay.
You don't like it?
Interesting.
I think we need to get a name tag. Hi, my name is Pipe.
Pipe conduit.
Pipe conduit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just we're doing advanced hydraulics now, so I'm in fire pump mode.
Okay.
I'm doing all the calculations. We're about to do test headers.
So you're variable speed?
Not
pump?
A variable speed. I'm full steam ahead.
Oh, you are?
Probably, yeah.
Steam driven pump?
Probably a runaway diesel engine.
Get that governor going. Anything you're looking forward to other than that task group, or how can, if people have some suggestions, how do we?
Yeah, so definitely, if you want to get involved in the NFPA process, you can get involved with our technical advisory council. That's open to all members. While we only have a limited number of voting seats, it's there so that those voting members of the council can hear from our members and vote accordingly based on how they're swayed one way or another, based on how people argue a specific point. So
you're still heard if you're involved and not on the.
Yeah, got it. Like just like Bob says, it's great to have a voice at the table.
Yeah.
You don't need his vote to make a difference. If you're able to articulate the points that you want to make, hopefully you can change the minds that can raise their hand and vote to, go accordingly with how your thoughts on the process are. So definitely need some more voices in there, more opinions.
Yeah.
Doesn't help anyone just to have 20 people nod and agree the whole time. Want a little bit of a discussion to at least actually get a precursor for the meetings to see what other opposing views might come up and what points we need to kind of counter argue.
And if you know us, we like to be, we don't mind a good professional argument.
Yeah. They're always fun.
Discussions and point of views. And see us at the Hot Ones challenge. What are we calling that thing?
Hot takes under fire.
Yeah, you're not just going to sit back there and not talk, bro.
I get to do that. That's what the producer
Hot
does,
take.
right?
Oh, fair enough. We're pulling that card now.
Didn't want to pay the licensing fee for a Hot Ones challenge.
We'd rather be unique because it's not exactly the Hot Ones challenge.
That's true. We did change it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, now, and I think you just scrapped the whole episode bringing up licensing on our first one on YouTube. That's crazy. All right. We got some editing. We will see you at the Hot Takes Challenge.
Hot Takes Under Fire.
Hot Takes Under Fire Challenge at convention. And thank you all for listening. Like and subscribe now that we're on YouTube. Hit us in the chats, and we have podcasts at firesprinkler.org if you have any questions, any topics you want to see mentioned, and we'll catch you next time. This has been the K Factor Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share wherever you tune in to podcasts, or head over to our website for more. Reach out to us anytime at technical@firesprinkler.org. Stay safe and always learn as we keep the fire protection conversation going. This has been the K Factor Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.